Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be asking your future spouse for any messages or guidance that they have for you. I do want to say first of all that I am pre-recording this video because I'm going to be traveling when it goes up. So I may not be able to respond to comments immediately, but I will as soon as I can. So with that said, please feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into the reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading where we are going to be getting some messages from your future spouse, and these are going to be loving and supporting messages despite the aesthetic here. It is spooky month, so we're going with a spooky theme, but these messages are going to be loving, supportive messages, maybe some advice, you know. We're just checking in with your future spouse and seeing if their higher self has anything that they want to share with you. So with that said, I do want to start off by, I apologize for the uneven lighting. I did my best, but I'm filming right beside a window, so, you know, to a certain extent there's really nothing I can really do about it. But I apologize for that. And then the other thing is, because I need the camera to be high up, every time I touch the table it shakes the camera. So I'm going to try really hard not to do it too much, but I apologize for that too, since I know that can be frustrating when you're watching a video and the camera keeps shaking. So I'm just going to do my best. And with that said, we are going to start with the oracle card that you picked, just to kind of make the spread work aesthetically. So we're going to see which oracle card you have here. Ooh, okay, so we have the cauldron, which is very on theme. This is the Halloween oracle, but we have the cauldron and it says synergy and healing. And this card carries several messages. First of all, there might be a connection to home or family. This might be a time of year, particularly since it's this video is going up in October. You know, there's lots of holidays around October, and particularly there's Canadian Thanksgiving, and there's also the Jewish holidays in October, there's Halloween, of course, but there might be some occasion to be spending more time with home and family in a way that is healing. So if your home and family life is not a healing environment for you, this message might not be for you, but this could also just be saying to create like a safe haven in your own home. And then this card is also associated because cauldrons are used to make potions and food, you know, to cook food. There's a message about, with the synergy, there's a message about combining different ingredients to create something new. And it can also be associated with maybe the process of that combination involves heat or fire, and because of that there might be an association with the phrase trial by fire, as in like having to go through sort of a painful or uncomfortable transformative process to create something new, to achieve the desired outcome. And we can extend that into a metaphor about when things come into alignment. It's like combining all the different ingredients, necessary ingredients, again, to arrive at the desired outcome, to get the, you know, if you're cooking something in a cauldron, you're trying to cook something specific, you know, you're combining all the different ingredients to make sure that whatever you're trying to cook comes out the way that you want it to. And so this is a positive message. This card has a positive message about things coming into alignment, and coming into alignment to give you the outcome that you want, and particularly coming into alignment to allow for a time for healing for you. There's also a message if you feel like things are not coming together right now or haven't been coming together the way that you have wanted them to, there might be a message about needing to try a different approach or many different approaches or incorporate different techniques. Like this card's almost reminding me of the Temperance card, of like just going through a process of trial and error to find the best combination of behaviors or techniques or you know, things like that, that like to figure out what works best for you in order for you to achieve your desired outcome. And you know, different things work better for different people. You know, we're all individuals. So if you find that what you have been trying to do has not gotten you the results you want yet, I think your future spouse is coming through to say it's okay to try different things. It's okay to try different techniques, try mixing different things together. You know, there might be like an experimental aspect to learning how to make potions in a cauldron, you know, where we're just like adding different ingredients and seeing and it's, you know, a cooking metaphor as well, like just adding different ingredients and seeing how those changes change the outcome. So that might be a part of the message here, is it might be necessary to just experiment a little bit more than you're already doing with different techniques or approaches. Maybe there's something that that you've heard about that you've wanted to try, and I think your future spouse is, if that's the case, your future spouse is coming through to say go for it. Because I think there is a message with this card that like that the timing is right for you to bring things into alignment for yourself, if you're willing to take different approaches. And then I wanted to reiterate the message about resilience and trial by fire, and going through a process of transformation that might have been uncomfortable or painful, but it's building resilience over time. And that, again, if there is a connection to home and family, because that's usually where a cauldron is, at home with family, there might be a connection to building resilience around family, and that would lead me to talk about things like maybe needing to set or enforce a boundary with a family member, however that resonates for you. And we'll get more context as we get the other cards here, but that's what I'm seeing with this initial card being the cauldron. And I am being called to, before we get into the tarot, to there's an intuitive message coming through about the idea of autonomy, that you have the ability, you are the one who is stirring this cauldron. You have the ability to achieve synergy. You have the ability to go through this process, trial and error, figure out what works for you. Like, this is something that you are taking control of in your life. And I think that is something that your future spouse is really encouraging you to do, is to feel like you are the one who is the authority figure in your own life, if that resonates for you. Pile one's future spouse. What messages? Okay. All right, so we have the Chariot. Lovely. This actually definitely kind of is related to the cauldron. I could see how that would be related. What messages do you have for pile one? Pile one's future spouse. What messages do you have for... Oh, okay. You have the Three of Daggers, which is the Three of Swords. And we have the Five of Crystals, which is the Five of Pentacles. These are heavy energies, so I could understand why your future spouse might be giving a message with the Cauldron card about needing to create a safe haven for yourself, and reframing a painful experience as an opportunity to learn and grow and build resilience. Okay, what messages do you have for pile one's future spouse? That's too many cards. Okay, your future spouse has a lot to say. All right, what messages do you have? Pile one's future spouse. What messages do you have for pile one? Ooh, okay. We have the Nightmare of Crystals, which is the Knight of Pentacles in this deck. And what was interesting is, I didn't mention it when I was looking at this card, but I was thinking about it. There's a pentagram behind this cauldron on the Cauldron card, and it was making me think of Pentacles. And then we have two Pentacles cards here, so I think there's a connection to Pentacles, and that would be maybe a connection to what we were saying about home and family, a connection to the earth and to the root chakra, and to feeling grounded and to creating that feeling of groundedness for yourself, so that when you are put through a trial by fire, you will know that you have the strength to withstand the flames. However that resonates for you, that's, again, just an intuitive message coming in. So starting with the Chariot, this is a positive message. The Chariot talks about forward momentum, and it talks about having a sense of purpose and like knowing which way you want to go and then going for it. And it can have like an energy of being very focused on the pathway forward. And I want to say, something that's coming to me is the Cauldron card is also associated with the message, as I was saying, but the message about not feeling like you're locked into one particular pathway. You don't need to be so rigid about saying like, I have to do something a very certain way. If we're going to go back to the metaphor about cooking something, it's like saying like, I don't need to follow the recipe word for word. I can make substitutions, or I can experiment with the different spices. You know, maybe you want to make you know, a casserole or something, but you really don't like green peas, for example, but the recipe calls for that. And instead of doing that, you could say, well, instead of doing that, I really like green beans or something like that. So I'm going to put those in instead. And what you end up creating is something that is much better tailored to you and to what you want. But the Chariot can be a very kind of a single-minded focus. And I think that there might be a message from your future spouse that they're encouraging you to ask yourself whether there's a way to move forward, or there's a pathway that might be an adjacent pathway that might be more in alignment with your healing journey than the pathway that you are currently on. Because again, the Chariot is a positive message, but it can also talk about having like a really single-minded focus on one specific pathway, and the fact that the Cauldron card is talking about you don't need to be locked into something, you can try different things, you can see whatever works for you, there's a trial and error process, you know, there's a lot of different factors that go into creating something in a cauldron, and so I don't know however that resonates for you, but I think there is maybe a joint message. First of all, it's really good to have a sense of purpose. That's a positive thing. However, we don't want to feel like we're locked into something. And I'm being drawn to the fact that the artwork on this card, you know, the Chariot typically talks about having a clarity of purpose, but you cannot really see the creature that is on this card. There's just two bright eyes and two hands that are barely visible. And so that's maybe a message from your future spouse that, again, like you might have a clear idea of where you want to go, but there are other factors here you might not be seeing as clearly. However that resonates for you, there just might be something that's obscured here that your future spouse might be warning you about. And I think that there's an interesting story being told with these four cards here, because we have the Chariot and then we have the Three of Daggers, which is the Three of Swords, which talks about heartbreak, disappointment, and like really painful emotions. There could be a message here, and this might already resonate for you. In fact, I'm thinking for a lot of you, this, like you might have already realized what I just said about the Chariot. Because the fact that we have the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles as bookends here is telling me that you might have had to go through a process, or you might be currently maybe in the middle of it, where you're realizing that what you thought you wanted is not for you, and that might have been like a really painful realization. It might be like a sense of heartbreak of like, I was barreling down this path. I had a sense of purpose. I knew exactly where I was going. And then I had this painful experience. And it could have just been a realization of like, oh no, this pathway's not serving me. This pathway's not right for me. And there could have been a moment of a loss of faith with this Five of Pentacles here. Like, I think that, I know I laid them out like this just because I don't have enough room here, but it's like the Chariot and then this moment of heartbreak, and then this Five of Pentacles is also a really heavy energy. It's an energy of feeling abandoned, feeling left behind, feeling kind of like you've been locked out of something. And I could see that if this is even giving me the vibes of if you grew up and you had like a life's path that had been prescribed for you, maybe by your parents or by societal expectations, or maybe you grew up in like a strict religious household, you know, however that resonates for you. And so it was like there was a very clear pathway ahead of you that might not have been something that you picked for yourself, but it might just have been like this was always expected of you. This was always the way it was expected to go. I think that if you're resonating with this idea of having had a pathway laid out before you and you were like fully committed to it, you know, and it had this kind of clarity, this sense of purpose, like I know where I'm going, I know I've always known that this was what was expected of me, to be going down this pathway, and then you had this Three of Daggers moment, and this could have been even a betrayal by somebody else, you know, this could have been something like, it's just like a really painful experience. It could have been the realization that you were not on the path that was in alignment with your divine purpose in this lifetime, and that you were going to have to break someone's heart to step off this pathway. Or it could have been somebody else broke your heart, and it kind of was maybe like an aha moment, like a wake-up call for you, where you realized that, this maybe isn't the right thing for me, or maybe this isn't what I want, or maybe I wasn't seeing this clearly. And I want to say, again, it's a general reading, so I'm not sure where you are in this process. This might be something that you're like, yeah, I know all of this, you know, in which case I think your future spouse is coming through to say that they're proud of you for having gone through this journey, because it sounds like it has not been easy. And if that's the case, then I think the advice is to stay the course, because you're doing a great job. Or you could be right in the middle of this process right now and be in the really painful part, in which case, again, your future spouse is just giving you encouragement and saying that, you know, it's important to do things that are in alignment with your authentic truth, for sure, 100%, and to focus on healing and to heal parts of yourself that might need it. There might be like there's not even might be, there are definite wounds here with this Three of Swords, and whatever painful experience happened here. I'm not getting too many details, so you know, but it's there, and I think that it's also important that this heart in this deck has an eye on it, and there might be like there's this pain is eye-opening. It's like causing a revelation of some sort. And then we have this Five of Crystals, Five of Pentacles. And again, that for me is a feeling of being locked out of something, being abandoned, feeling lost, which I could totally understand if you were in this Chariot energy and then a Three of Daggers happened, and then just feeling like oh no, what do I do now? You know, where's my Chariot gonna go now? You know, and feeling like, you know, it's the change associated with the number 5, but it's a change that shakes your whole foundation, and usually it's not a positive feeling. Being in the Five of Pentacles is usually a pretty bad feeling. There might also be a message, or the Five of Pentacles carries a message about, again, like feeling like you've been shut out of something, and that could be if there was some reason why you either stepped off this pathway or you were forced off of this pathway, and it was a painful experience. There's maybe some reason why you can never get back on this pathway, and it might have required you, with the energy of the Cauldron card, there might have been a disagreement with family. There might just be a connection with family, and you might have been maybe shunned by your family or shut out by a family member, or you might have yourself needed to go low or no contact with a family member or something like that, or being shut out of a community. If you were resonating with what I said about maybe being raised in like a really strict religious household, if you came to the painful realization that that wasn't for you, you know, there could have been, like, you might have been forced to leave, you know, your religion, or been forced to, I guess, you know, like, for example, if you were going to a specific church, you know, you might have been banned from that church, or you know, something like that, or even just the feeling of that, something that evokes that feeling of, oh no, suddenly I'm locked out of something that was such a important part of my foundation, and now you're feeling like lost and abandoned and alone, and that's a really tough situation to be in. And you can see, like, this person is crying, and what I think the positive message here is that these cards are on the inside and these cards are on the outside. So we're starting with the Chariot again, but we're ending on the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is a positive message. And I think that, I don't know if you're here yet. If you are, then I think your future spouse is giving you congratulations and kudos for getting to this Knight of Pentacles energy, because it has not been an easy journey. And if you're not here yet, then I think the advice with the Knight of Pentacles would be to just take it one day at a time. And it's really comes back to this Cauldron card of figuring out what works best for you moment by moment and creating a safe haven for yourself where you're prioritizing taking care of yourself. And I want to say the Chariot, again, is it's like a fast moving energy. It's like, I know exactly where I want to go. We're going, you know, I'm on the path. I'm on the route. I'm going to make sure that I get there by sundown. It's like we're fully committed, all steam ahead. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is not worried about getting there at a particular time. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is like, I'm going to take a detour. I'm going to smell the flowers over here. You know, there's no rush. I'm just happy to be out in the sunshine, just going on this journey. And I think that is a positive message to end on, despite this painful energy in the middle here, and the fact that this, you know, again, coming back to trial by fire, yeah, I would definitely see this as being a trial by fire. Like, this is a painful realization of needing to change your direction and change your path. However, again, the positive message here is this Knight of Pentacles. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Again, they have a place to go. Knight of Pentacles is still moving forward. They're still going on a journey, but they're taking the time to really appreciate the journey itself for what it is. Taking time, again, to smell the flowers and enjoy the process of trial and error, and make a commitment to yourself and to your self-care. And there, you know, I could see the Knight of Pentacles kind of making the time to check in with themselves and say, like, okay, where am I on my journey? Okay, is that in alignment? Is that still in alignment where I think I want to go? Okay, if not, I can adjust my course, and it's no big deal. You know, again, getting to that energy is ultimately a positive thing. And I do think that your future spouse is here both to celebrate the courage that it takes and that it has taken to get to this point, and as encouragement that you're doing the right thing. When you do something that is in alignment with your divine purpose, when you do something that, when you choose to step off a pathway that is not right for you, you are helping to bring things into alignment for your divine purpose. And that is ultimately a positive thing, despite the fact that it might be a painful experience. So with that said, I am going to grab your last oracle cards here, and we'll see what they have to say. Ooh, okay. So we have, and also forgive me if I mispronounce some of these creatures, because I don't recognize all of them. I think this is Namazu. It says control, and it is associated with earth. First off, my initial intuitive thing is with control. That for sure, I could see that being associated with this chariot. Interesting that I just had a slip and said charity instead of chariot. That might be something that resonates for somebody, but that definitely somebody who is being represented on the Chariot card would be somebody who feels like they're in control. But there might, if you're resonating with what I said about, might be a message here about like being under the control of somebody else, or being under the control of an institution, or the control of just like being burdened by family expectations. We have this, this is a fish, and it has like a stone that's keeping it in place. And the Namazu is a catfish from Japan, and this is according to the guidebook, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but and according to mythology, the god Kashima trapped Namazu under a stone, because when Namazu is out of control, it thrashes about and causes earthquakes. And obviously the god Kashima doesn't like that, you know, and it's probably not great for the people of Japan. But there could be a message here that, you know, as I was saying, like being under somebody's thumb, being under the control of something, even if it's just being under the weight of expectations, under the weight of obligation. There's an idea here that if this creature was not being controlled, it would cause chaos, and it would shake a foundation. And so I think that there's a message here that that's the reason why somebody, a person, a family member, an institution, whatever we're talking about here, was trying to keep you on a path that was not right for you, because there was an element of needing to prevent chaos or to control the situation, because somebody was afraid of the outcome of having the foundation shaken. And I think that it's been a necessary process for you to shrug off this rock and say, no, I'm not going to be controlled, and I don't care if that shakes things up, you know, because I need to do what's right for me. And I think that that's ultimately a positive thing. And I think that, again, like with this card being associated with the element of earth, and then these Pentacles cards here, there's, again, and the Knight of Pentacles, is, I forgot to say, is also very grounded. That's a very grounded energy. The Knight of Pentacles has an open and strong root chakra, and it has like a sense of belonging in the world no matter where they are. And I think that that is something that either you are working towards, or your future spouse is coming through to give you the advice to try to find that groundedness within yourself, especially during a time where you feel like you need to kind of shake off the control of somebody else or something else that was trying to keep you on a pathway that did not resonate for you. And then the last card we have, ooh, I love this. Okay, this is, oh, again, I'm going to butcher this name. Oli Tiao, and it says expanse. And this is associated with the element of air, which I forgot to say. The Three of Daggers also associated with air, and then the Chariot associated with Cancer. But the expanse, like the immediate intuitive message here for me would be about, with the association with air, there's a message about speaking your authentic truth, and maybe going through a throat chakra expansion where you are communicating your needs and what is right for you, despite how painful that might be for you and for other people in your life who wanted you to stay on this path with the Chariot, and that might have caused a lot of destruction to your personal relationships while you're trying to shake off this control that wasn't working for you. But it has caused an expansion, and it's caused a expansion of the throat chakra, association with air and the expansion. And I think it has also what I'm seeing as like expanding your experience of the world, like expanding your worldview, and giving you an opportunity to explore. Again, like it's just coming right back to this cauldron card. So I think it's a good thing that we took this card first, because this is really kind of tying all these messages together of like that idea of getting away from something that was maybe a little bit restrictive, getting away from something that was like a narrow thing, towards being able to see and explore the big wide world and all of the potential possibilities that are out there, and to enjoy the journey and just take it one step at a time. And that's ultimately a very positive thing. And something else that's coming to me is, because these are Oli Tiao, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, are like gigantic bats. Like you can see this is in a cave with stalagmites, stalactites, and it's big in the frame here. I think they have like 12-foot wingspans. Like they're cryptids, but they're gigantic bats. And there's something very intimidating about that. But I think that with expanse, it's like, might be a message here about, and especially with this Five of Pentacles turning into the Knight of Pentacles, the part of this experience might involve having to face your fears. And realizing that this bat's not trying to hurt you; they're just kind of existing in this cave, you know. And when you expand your worldview, it helps to put things that might have once been frightening into perspective and make them more manageable. So I don't know how this resonates for you. I'm not sure how this reading has resonated so far, but that's what I'm seeing, you know, in terms of the messages from your future spouse. I do want to say there's a message for somebody coming through. And I realize it's October, this is a Halloween season, I'm using my spooky decks, and so that, you know, the imagery is going to be, you know, more spooky. Particularly during this season, if you're watching this during like Halloween season, your future spouse might send you images of bats as a sign of encouragement. So that could be a message for somebody watching. And with that said, I do hope that this has resonated for you. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated. I will check the comments when I am able to. And if you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading, where we are going to be getting some messages from your future spouse. These are going to be positive, affirmative messages, despite the spooky theme and the spooky font on the thumbnail. These are meant to be positive messages from your future spouse. And with that said, I just want to apologize for the lighting. I tried my best, but I don't have the best setup, so, you know, I apologize if there's like shadows and weird things. And then the other thing is, because of the way my camera is set up, every time I touch the table, it shakes the camera. So I apologize for that. I know that can be frustrating to watch, and I'm going to do my best not to touch the table any more than I need to. And with that said, we are going to start with the Oracle card here. And the card that we have is, ooh, wow, okay. We have Werewolf, which says exploring wildness, and I love that. I do want to say, I think that your future spouse is, first of all, I'm getting a lot of energy. I think that it could be a mixture of things. It could be like your future spouse is really excited to talk to you. This wasn't the case for the other two piles, but when I was pulling your Oracle cards, they leapt out immediately. Like your future spouse was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I just want to, you know. And when I was shuffling the cards in between your reading and pile 1, half the deck flew out. Like, I think your future spouse is really excited to talk to you, and I think that they also might have like a more kind of energetic, a fun-loving, excited kind of energy. They might be somebody who loves to talk and might be a little bit more extroverted, however that resonates for you. And then we have the Werewolf with exploring wildness, and that sounds like a fun energy to me. And I'm being shown like vintage Halloween, like going to to watch like a werewolf movie at a drive-in cinema. Like, that's kind of what I'm seeing with this card. And then, you know, my intuitive things right off the bat with this card are, with exploring wildness, I think that, first of all, your future spouse is really excited to have fun with you and explore kind of both of your wild side. You might right now be going through and exploring your connection to nature, and or really kind of going through a transformation where you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, trying new things, exploring your wild side, whatever that means for you. And there might be a transformative aspect to that as well, because this is the werewolf, and werewolves, you know, they go through transformations. Specifically around the full moon. So the moon in itself might be a message for you. The moon, usually when I see it on a card, carries a message for me about spirit guides working behind the scenes to bring things into alignment. That might be a message that your future spouse is coming through with to say, like, don't worry, things are coming into alignment for the two of us to come together, however that resonates for you. And there could also be, because this werewolf could also be a message about things being influenced by lunar cycles. So it might be, I don't know if you work with the moon and moon phases, but that might be something that you are being encouraged to do, however that resonates for you. Or this could, again, just be a recognition from your future spouse that you do work with the moon, however that resonates for you. And there can be a message with this card because werewolves don't typically choose to go through the transformation. It's controlled by an external force, in this case, the full moon. There can be a question about the balance between your, like, quote-unquote civilized nature, like your human life, and the like uncontrolled wildness that is associated with transforming into a werewolf. And you know, there's typically in werewolf stories, there might be like a trope about somebody who transforms into a werewolf against their will on the full moon and then goes on a rampage that they cannot control, and they might not even be able to remember it. So there can be a bit of a conflict between who we want to be in terms of like our everyday life and conforming to the way that society wants us to be, and accepting and embracing the wilder side of our nature that cannot be controlled. So that might be something that resonates for you. I know that's a bit of an abstract concept, but that might be something that kind of resonates for you as part of something that you might be going through right now, is like embracing your connection to your wild side. It says exploring wildness, you know, and just kind of leaning into that exploration rather than trying to fight it. That might be something that you are doing, and if you are, then I think that your future spouse is proud of you and excited about it. And if not, then that might be part of the advice on this card, is just to kind of to not resist the transformation so hard, and maybe lean into it a little bit more, even though it might be frightening. Like, it can be a really scary idea, though the idea of losing control might be something that really scares you. And I think that your future spouse might be coming through with some advice that everything is okay, you are safe and you are protected. And it's okay, again, to kind of explore that wildness a little bit more, because even by doing that might lead to a greater understanding of your wild side, which might help you feel like you are a little bit more in control, however that resonates for you. So with that said, I am going to get into the tarot cards. Let's use future spouse. What messages? Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we have all your cards came out immediately all at once. So definitely that confirms for me your future spouse has a lot to say, and they want to say it right now. They're very excited to talk to you. So we have the Ace of Bones, which is the Ace of Wands. We have the Eight of Crystals, which is the Eight of Pentacles. Ooh. Ooh, okay. We have the Nightmare of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. And, oh, beautiful. We have the Terror of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, which is, this is a beautiful energy for you, pile 2. And, yeah, this is, yeah. Okay. This is definitely confirming for me some of the interpretations with the werewolf card, and then the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, very cute. Very cute message there. So starting with the Ace of Wands, that definitely would resonate for me in terms of somebody who is quote-unquote exploring their wildness, because the Ace of Wands can talk about a new cycle or a new opportunity to do something that you're feeling really passionate about. It's like being really excited for the journey, and look, that excitement and passion is coming through just in the energy of your future spouse in this reading. But that might be something that resonates for you as you're starting something new, you're going on a new adventure, and this could be something that is associated with your job or something that you're working on with this Eight of Pentacles right here. The Eight of Pentacles carries a message about hard work and dedication to a task, and that usually it translates to like, I'm showing up every day and I'm excited to work on building this skill, or I'm excited to work on a creative project, or I'm excited to go to work because I really like what I do and I feel really passionate about it. And you know, this is the Ace of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, beautiful message, like having a sense of this thing that I'm doing is a new phase in my life, and it's really excited, and I'm like so happy to wake up every single day and get to do this thing. So that might be something that resonates for you. right now, and or this could be your future spouse coming through, and the reason why they might be so excited might be partially related to they can see this Ace of Wands coming in towards you very soon. Again, if you don't feel like you're in this energy yet, and or if you are already in this energy, then I just think your future spouse is coming through to say that they're really excited that you're feeling so excited and passionate about something that's going on in your life, and that again is like a really beautiful message. I want to say this might also be, if you're not necessarily resonating with this having something to do with your career or creative project, like that would be my initial interpretation with, you know, the wands of like, you know, creativity, passion, inspiration, and then the pentacles of career, finances, commitment, hard work, etc. If that's not resonating for you, this can even be saying your future spouse, your coming into union with your future spouse is right around the corner. And that might be why they are so excited. This could be all a related message, because we have both messengers of cups here. And your future spouse is so excited to talk to you. And we have this Ace of Wands of a new beginning, something new is starting, and then the Eight of Pentacles of commitment and being excited every single day. Like this is even an energy of, I'm excited every single day because I get to spend the day with my partner, you know, and I get to build our relationship together. And so that, you know, again, I'm really excited about this read. This is like very cute. And then with the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, very romantic. Knight of Cups, for me, like this way, if your future spouse is coming through and they're saying Knight of Cups, to me, it's like, yeah, if you have not met this person, they're right around the corner. If you have met this person, they're already in your life, the romantic offer is right around the corner, and or there's going to be like an uptick, an evolution, an up leveling of your relationship, to put it that way. And it could be that, you know, like, you know, I don't want to necessarily give this message because it might not be for everybody, but for somebody watching, there might be a proposal coming soon. If you're already in a relationship with somebody and you would recognize that person as having future spouse potential, or you recognize their energy in this reading, the Knight of Cups brings a romantic offer, especially if this is coming from your future spouse. Like definitely I would interpret this as the reason they're so excited is because this Knight of Cups is right around the corner. And that's ultimately a beautiful message. And then with the Page of Cups, it's like you have both of the messenger cards for cups, and this to me would be a confirmation of the energy of the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Cups is a very romantic energy, and it could have something to do with a creative project that you're working on. The Page of Cups associated with creativity and as a very creative energy and artistically creative, and the Page of Cups is also very open to new connections and new relationships, and it is a very romantic energy. So we have the kind of cardinal romance of the Knight of Cups. We have a more passive romantic energy with the Page of Cups. And the two of them being here together is like the whole package. the whole everything you want out of a relationship is right here being represented by these two cards, and it's coming in soon because again these are the two messengers of this suit. So there's a text message or a union, maybe a meet cute of some kind that's like right around the corner for you. It's coming in fast, and I think that the fact that it's the Knight and then the Page might be saying that I think that your future spouse is probably going to be the one who initiates the connection or comes towards you, and then you might be being represented here on this Page of Cups of, because you're in an energy of receptivity to new connections and a willingness to be emotionally intimate with somebody new, if that is your energy. Otherwise I think that's advice, but if that's your current energy, then it's like, yes, you being in this energy is bringing this Knight of Cups towards you with a romantic offer. So that's a beautiful message there, and I'm excited for you, pile 2. And again, like I want to say for pile 1, I felt a little bit more cloudy on their message. I wasn't sure about it. I was second guessing myself. Their reading might be a lot longer than yours just because I was struggling to get the messages out. Your reading, crystal clear. Like, I think the messages here are very clear so far. So I wanted to say that, and then we're going to get more oracle cards. We have, oh, okay. This deck is so cute. I love this deck. This is the Adorabyssal deck. And this is Bigfoot. It is associated with Earth, and it says solitude. And it looks like, because this Bigfoot has a smile on their face, it looks like kind of enjoying solitude. There might be a message that you might have been alone for a long time, or this might be a confirmation that this Ace of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, might be this relationship is going to come in when you are focused on something else. And when you're kind of you've reached a level of contentment with your solitude, and you might not be actively looking for a relationship right now, or it's just like, you might have even received a lot of advice in tarot readings about not focusing so hard on romance, because that's, you know, what is going to bring in this this connection. And I could see that being associated with this Page of Cups here, of like, you know, it's a receptivity and openness to it, but it's not actively seeking a connection. And so there may be a message, like when you're just like kind of happily kind of sitting in the forest, enjoying being with nature, there's a grounded earthiness to this. Oh, I just noticed he has a little ladybug on his finger. That's very cute. Again, it's like just kind of communing with nature, accepting where you are. You know, we're not rushing somewhere new, but we're in a place where we're excited about whatever we're working on, feeling passionate about our goals, and showing up every day. And there might be, again, like a creative project or something that really sparks your passion. And it might be something that you're working on alone. It could be some business that you're starting alone, a project that you're working on alone. But either way, this could just be a message, again, that this relationship is going to come in at a time when you are not focused on finding a relationship. Even this Bigfoot's not looking this way. They're not looking this way. But the ladybug also is a symbol of good luck and good fortune. So that's a positive message. Whatever you're working on here is you're generating positive luck for yourself, and that's a beautiful message. And then, ooh, okay. This is interesting. Okay. And I apologize if I butcher this name. I haven't seen it before. Grootslang or Grootslang. It is also associated with Earth. And it's the word cruelty. And it looks like an elephant snake. So in the initial intuitive interpretation, elephants associated with the past and memories, snakes associated with deception, or they can be a positive omen, but with the word cruelty there, you know, there might be a message that you might have your doubts. When this person initially comes towards you, especially with all this romance, you might have your doubts that you might think that your future spouse is love bombing you, or that they're just telling you what you want to hear, or that because it's with the elephant head here, it's kind of telling me you might have had a lot of past bad experiences with people who told you what you wanted to hear, but then didn't follow through, or they betrayed you in some way, or they were very cruel. It turned out to be cruel, and like you couldn't trust what they were saying because there was an element of deception to it, and that might be something that your future spouse is acknowledging. And they might be asking you, with the association, again, with the earth here, both of these are earth associations, they might be asking you to just take it one step at a time and to try to remain as grounded as you can, so that you can maintain this energy of the Page of Cups of being open-minded and being willing to be vulnerable around somebody who is approaching you in the energy of the Knight of Cups, because I think that your future spouse is just going to be really excited about you and really excited about your connection, and it could translate to they might be coming on a little bit strong, and that might frighten you just because of your past experiences. if that resonates for you. And again, I think that there's, first of all, that might be something that is important to communicate with your future spouse. Just to be honest about that, if that's something that resonates for you. And or just to, again, try to ground yourself, and just, if you need to slow down, if things are happening too fast and it's scary for you, it's okay to tell your future spouse, this is happening too fast and I need to slow down. However that resonates for you. And especially slowing down from this cardinal energy of the Knight to the more receptive energy of the Page. It's like, this is too fast, let's slow it down and just kind of take it one day at a time. So yeah, those are the messages that that your future spouse has for you today, pile 2. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how this resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading, where we are going to be getting some messages from your future spouse. I want to confirm that these messages are going to be positive and loving messages. I know that the thumbnail's a little bit scary just because I picked it like a spooky font, but I want to confirm these are the positive messages for you. And like they're coming from a place of love from your future spouse. So I also want to apologize for the lighting. I tried really hard, but it's still pretty uneven, you know, and so I'm sorry about that. And then the other thing is that because of the way the camera is set up, every time I touch the table, it shakes the camera. So I'm sorry about that. I know that that can be frustrating. I will try my best not to touch the table too much, but I wanted to say that right off the bat. And with that said, we are going to start with your oracle card. So, ooh, okay. Okay, I like the imagery on this card. We have the lantern, which says remembrance. And okay, so my initial intuitive interpretations. You might be going through a period of time right now where you might be looking back at things that have happened, past experiences, and or there might be something that has to do with the passing of a loved one that, again, you might be looking back through memories that are happy and or memories that are painful. It might be a mixture of both, but there's you might be just going through a time right now where you're examining things that have happened, for better or worse. Like I don't think this card necessarily carries like either a positive or negative message. It's just about like looking back through through things. And with the fact that it's the lamp, and lamps provide illumination, there might be and it's a lamp and a window. And a window, like looking at something through a window, is like a certain level of detachment from past experiences. So it could be, you know, the phrase like hindsight is 20/20. So it's like looking back on something and getting a bit of a different perspective because time has passed that has allowed you to have a certain level of emotional detachment from whatever has happened, and is allowing you to see the situation maybe a little bit more clearly. Like things are becoming a little bit more illuminated while you are looking back on certain situations. The other thing that jumped into my mind is this might be a confirmation of either your future spouse might be somebody that you already know. It might be somebody from your past, might be coming back into your life, and or this might be a past life connection that is coming through. So just take that however it resonates. And there might be something that resonates for you. This card is associated with looking back on the past connections, even looking back on, as we said, loved ones who might have passed. There's a connection to leaving a light on in the window for somebody to come home. And that might be in a spiritual sense, and that might be resonating in terms of, again, like a past soulmate or soul connection, a past life connection. I'm getting off track. I have a lot of things I want to say. This card is also associated with looking back on memories that might be sad and finding the parts of the memories that we feel grateful for. And that can even be saying like that we might be remembering somebody that we didn't like. We might be remembering a connection where somebody treated us badly and we're grateful to have gotten away from that person. But we can recognize the important lesson that we learned from having had that connection. However that resonates for you. So again, there's an element of looking back on the past, and there might be, I always forget what it's called. Somebody just said it in the comments and I can't remember. It's like past, like soul retrieval, I think is what it's called, if that resonates for you. So doing things like that, and that might be something that is part of your current energy. And what I was saying about leaving the light on, this could even be saying, you might be at a time where you might be getting a lot of like messages and tarot readings and stuff where you might be hearing that your future spouse, and this might be the message in this reading, we'll see what comes out in the tarot. You might be hearing that your future spouse is not ready for this connection yet, and they might not be ready for a little while longer, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to wait for this person or not. And I am getting the sense with the lamp, the remembrance, this might be a past life connection. This might be a soulmate level connection with your future spouse. You know, I think not all of us are going to necessarily marry a soulmate, but this could be a confirmation of that. And this might be a message that, like, you know, just that your future spouse might be coming through and saying like, it's okay to leave the light on for me. You know, we'll come together in this lifetime when we are meant to. And it's also okay not to do that. Like you don't need to, if it's not serving you, if it's not what you want for yourself, you don't need to leave the light on for this person. But if you are doing that, and that is part of your current path, I think your future spouse is recognizing that, their higher self is coming through to recognize that, and I think they do appreciate that. And they're kind of giving a nod to that and saying like, we see the light that you're leaving on. Whether, you know, and you can even be doing that as you are actively dating, you know, and saying like, you know, if somebody else comes along, that's great, but I am going to kind of leave the light on for this person for whenever they're ready. And I think that there is an element of appreciation for that is coming through here. And as always, there's an ultimate message that it's okay to do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, however that resonates for you. So those are the messages I'm seeing with this card, and then we are going to get into the tarot. Pile 3's future spouse. What messages do we have for pile 3? Okay. Oh, okay. Very interesting. So we have the moon, and then we have 7 of Bones, which is the 7 of Wands. And we have, ooh, very nice. We have the Magician. Ooh, okay. 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 Do you want me to take this card? Yes. Okay, and then we have the 7 of Cups. So this is kind of confirming for me what I was seeing with the lamp. And especially with the fact that the last card we have here is the 7 of Cups. But starting over here with the moon, I think it's really interesting that the moon is the first card out here when we're seeing the lamp and remembrance, and there's a connection to illumination and to looking back on the past and things becoming clearer in hindsight, because the moon talks about things that are hidden. And it talks about illusions and fantasies and things that are like obscured, right? And so that might be something that resonates for you as like, you might again be in a period of your life right now where you are going back over past memories and trying to figure things out, trying to shed light on maybe why certain people did certain things, or certain experiences that you have had, might be going through and trying to untangle certain emotions, however that resonates for you. But again, it's like there's an aspect of the unknown or the unknowable even in here with the moon. And then the fact that we have this 7 of Wands here, again, that would kind of confirm for me the idea of like going through the past and trying to figure things out, because there were experiences that put us in this energy of the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands talks about a feeling like we need to prove ourselves. It talks about maybe needing to set and enforce healthy boundaries with certain people. It can carry a message about feeling like we're being attacked and needing to kind of be on the defensive a little bit. And that might be something that resonates for you as like a lesson that you have kind of been implementing. And you've like, the way I'm seeing this is like, it might still be a little bit unclear to you why certain experiences happen the way that they did, but the result of those experiences is you being in an energy where you are standing strong in your power and you have strong, healthy boundaries. That's like the outcome of these experiences that you have had. And that might be, again, like this might be the shadow work that you're currently doing. And I think it's also important that these two cards are black and these two cards are, the Magician is like clearing this smoke away. Like clearing, creating clarity, you know, for themselves. And then there's clear, the Seven of Cups, clear as day. You can see all 7 options here. So that's what I'm like. We're coming from a place of shadow and obscurity into a place of clarity. And so that to me would be a confirmation that this probably represents some spiritual growth, spiritual evolution, your spiritual journey so far, shadow work that you've been doing. If you've been doing like going back over past experience, past memories, this could be, you might be in therapy. This could be a representation of just like your spiritual practice, whatever you're doing that is helping you embrace your Seven of Wands energy, that is helping you illuminate past experiences and clear up this fogginess around the moon, things that you don't understand. Why did this happen? Why was this person acting this way? And there might even be like divination practices that are helping you understand this stuff. And the fact that this is a 7 of Bones, I'm seeing somebody throwing bones. Like, I don't know if there's a word for that practice, but like using animal bones as a divination tool to gain a sense of clarity and understanding about certain experiences. So that's what I'm seeing with these two cards. And then we have the Magician and the 7 of Cups. And this Magician, I think, is, again, you're clearing away the fogginess that is surrounding this moon. And things are like becoming clear, and you're providing clarity for yourself by stepping into your power. And the Magician is definitely connected with the power of manifestation and being able to bring positive things into your life. And that, I think, is as a result of this shadow work that you've been doing, is putting you in this Magician energy where you are manifesting. You are manifesting things. This Magician card, also when it's in a romance reading, this is not technically really a romance reading, even though it is messages from your future spouse. But there might be an additional message. The Magician card can talk about a soulmate, like, and specifically manifesting a soulmate, and that might be the message here about leaving the light on. You know, where it's like, I'm focusing on myself right now. You know, I'm using my spirituality and the power of positive thinking and the law of attraction to bring things that I want into my life that work for me right now. And I'm going to leave the light on for my soulmate whenever they're ready. If that resonates, it could be like you're manifesting this person by being in this energy. And at the same time, we have the 7 of Cups here. And the 7 of Cups talks about having options. It talks about, because it's cups, it can talk about having a lot of romantic options. Like, that's kind of the way I'm being, like, it's a kind of a confirmation of the idea that it's okay, once again, it's okay to leave the light on for somebody, especially if you know that this person is going to come back into your life at some point, and they might not be ready to do so yet. And it's also okay to explore your other options. You know, and I think that this is a message that's coming through, like, whatever you want to do for yourself, whatever works best for you, is what you are being encouraged to do by your future spouse. And the fact that this is your future spouse is telling me that they are going to come back, you know, and you're going to get married to them. That's the whole premise of this video, you know, but there's just a message that, like, it's okay to explore other things. It's okay to, and this might even be saying like, this might not be talking about relationships, even though it's cups associated with relationships. It can also be associated with creativity. It can also be associated with like emotions. And so this can even be saying like your emotions are becoming clearer, and or you're exploring other aspects related to your creativity or to your career or something like that, and just like seeing what works for you. And the Seven of Cups can sometimes talk about feeling confused or being confused, but the fact that that we're starting with the moon, and again it's like it's kind of like dark shadowy energy, and the Magician is clearing all of that away, and then this is like a white card where you can clearly see each of these bottles is again, that's giving me the impression you understand what your options are on this card, and you're seeing them clearly. There's a sense of clarity here, and I think that's ultimately a beautiful thing. Like something that you're manifesting for yourself right now is clarity. It's different options, the ability to explore different options and just have fun with it, you know, and you don't need to commit to the next person who walks into your life, you know, but you can see where it goes, you know, and just have fun with it. And it's like, and also have a sense of clarity of what things are and what they're not, and having a sense of having solid boundaries and like knowing who you are and what you bring to the relationship, and standing in your power as the Magician. And those are all ultimately very positive things. So with that said, I am going to get your oracle cards, your other oracle cards, okay? Yeah, we have the Demon, which says chaos. It is associated with fire, and initial first impressions definitely associated with this moon, and the need to be in the Seven of Wands energy. Definitely I could see that you might have been, there just might be like a lot of stuff to work through. You know, you might have been in a time in your life where there was a lot of chaos and things just were not, like the chaos and confusion, you know, and things were just might not have been clear to you why things happened a certain way. It might just have seemed very random. And I think that doing this work is so important. It's like a really important part of your spiritual journey. And there's the fact that this is a demon is like working through your demons. That is something that is coming to me, working through your demons and creating order out of chaos. So it's like looking back and figuring things out in hindsight to give yourself this sense of clarity. Okay, and then we have I don't know if I can pronounce that, Alkanost, that's how I would pronounce that, and it says distraction, and I could see that definitely being associated with the Seven of Cups, because I did say that I think this is like you clearly seeing, like the fact that this card is white and you're kind of taking the fog away is telling me that there's a sense of clarity here, but this might also be talking about distractions, and this can even be saying again like that message of we're leaving the light on for this person when they're ready to come into your life or to come back into your life, and at the same time, you know, we can have fun. You know, it's okay to you know, distract ourselves in the meantime with whatever like fun distractions we're doing. Like this is not a negative energy, and there might be a message like this work is really heavy and difficult, and it's okay to have fun and like distract yourself from it. And sometimes, you know, it's like we can't be doing shadow work all the time. It's really hard. So it's okay again to just have fun if that's something that that you feel like is a necessary distraction. So again, I think this is a positive message here, and I think your future spouse is coming through to recognize that the hard work that you've been doing, and to saying like it's again, it's okay to just have fun if you need to, and you are manifesting this person just by leaving the light on for them. And I think their higher self is coming through to say that they do appreciate that, and at the same time, it's okay to have fun in the meantime. You know, it's okay to do that, with that said, those are the messages that I have for you today, pile 3. I hope this reading has resonated for you. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know whether it resonated for you. And I'll respond to comments when I get back. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And thank you very much for watching pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video.